Hello everyone, the topic that I would like to talk or discuss with you today is about faith in Taoism or the religion of Taoism. To start with, let's talk about the origins of Taoism. So it says that the historian Sima Qian tells the story of Lao Tzu, a curator at the Royal Library in the state of Chu, who was a natural philosopher. Lao Tzu believed in the harmony of all things, and that people could live easily together if they only consider each other's feelings once in a while and recognized that their self-interest was not always in the interest of others. So Lao Tzu grew impatient with people and with the corruption he saw in the government, which caused the people so much pain and misery. He was so frustrated by his inability to change people's behavior that he decided to go into exile. And then, while he was leaving China to the western pass, the gatekeeper in the person of Yunshi stopped him because he recognized him as a philosopher. And this person asked Lao Tzu to write a book for him before he left. And Lao Tzu agreed. No? So he sat down on a rock beside the gatekeeper and wrote the Tao Te Ching. So this is the book of the way. So he stopped writing when he felt he was finished and handed the book to that gatekeeper that I have, that in the person of Yishin, and walked through the western pass to vanish into the mids beyond. So this gatekeeper continued the story after this, but uh, most probably the story is uh, about that book, which they believe it was distributed, no? And the title of that book is Tao Te Ching. So in short, we can say that this religion started with the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. They believe he is the supreme master, no? And he lived in the same time with the Chinese philosopher that we have discussed before, in the person of Confucius. Now, what is Tao Te Ching? No? It is a book of poetry presenting the simple way of following the Tao or Tao and living life at peace with oneself, others, and the world of changes. So it is not a scripture but it is for them the book of the way, no? And that is what they followed. So about their beliefs, most specifically to human being, to man, no? They believe that there are no bad people according to Taoist principles, only people who behave badly. Given the proper education and guidance toward understanding how the universe works, anyone could be a good person living in harmony with the earth and with others. So that's what they believe in the nature of man. Okay. Now talking about the founder of Taoism. Taoism has no founder and no founding date. It grew out of various religious and philosophical traditions in ancient China, including shamanism and nature religion. So it is almost like in Confucianism, where Confucius do not really admit that he is the founder of this religion, but he also, like Lao Tzu, started this religion reviving or transmitting the knowledge, the wisdom of the past. So that's why we can also say that in this religion there is no founder, but it was believed that it is started with Lao Tzu because of his wisdom that he shared. Now, talking about the yin and yang. So, this yin and yang thought began as an attempt to answer the questions of the origin of the universe. No? According to yin yang thought, the universe came to be as a result of the interactions between the two primordial opposing forces of yin and yang, because things are experienced as changing, as processes coming into being and passing out of being. They must have both yang or being and yin or lack of being. So this is how they explain the origin of the universe. Although um, Taoism and the Tao Te Ching were not originally associated with a symbol known as the yin and yang, they have both come to be because the philosophy of Taoism embodies the yin and yang or yin yang principle and yin yang thought. So life is supposed to be lived in balance as the symbol of the yin and the yang expresses. So it is a symbol of opposites in balance. No, that's why we have. This is where we can also use as an explanation of the day and night, male, female, passive, aggressive. No, so except good and evil or life and death, because nature does not recognize anything as good or evil, and nature does not recognize a difference between life and non-life. So all is in harmony in nature, and Taoism tries to encourage people to accept and live that kind of harmony as well. At this point, let's talk about the Tao or Tao. In Lao Tzu's definition, Tao Dao is considered to be the pervasive principle of all things in the universe, being the highest reality and the highest mystery, the primordial originality and unity, a cosmical law and an absolute. So, uh, the Tao is the considered to be the force or the genesis or the source or the alliance and the conjunction of opposites, and as such not definable, and it is nameless because neither it or nor its principles can ever be adequately expressed in words. In this religion, they have this so-called wowi. It refers to a non-action, as in abstention of any action or opposing nature. So this is a principle that they have to develop, and it is about letting the nature takes its course. No, so it is considered correct not to interfere with the spontaneity or alter by any means all things, no, with their transformations and changes. It is considered to be self-regulating, self-expressing in their natural form. This principle does not signify not acting at all, but rather not forcing things on their way. So it signifies that the action should be immediately in accordance with the Tao or the Tao. No? So the necessary will be done without exaggeration, hyperbole, or over eagerness, as these are considered obstructive, though rather in an easy and non-disturbing way, leading to overall harmony and balance. So if you develop this, it is a state of inner tranquility which will show the right effortless action at the right time. So you have, in short, you just have to let the nature takes its course, respecting the natural way of things, and do not make contradictions or oppositions as to its nature. Now the last thing is about the three jewels. No, the three jewels of Dao. This refers to the three virtues of Taoism, namely compassion, moderation, and humility. So this is what they develop in themselves, no? Compassion, moderation, and humility. It is very important. That is all for my discussion about this religion. If you have questions or clarifications, feel free to message me. Thank you for listening.